Peace, family. This is a Marshall Enterprise presentation. This is Bud-Brownsville. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the page, to the YouTube channel. I got some powerful information for you guys today. It has to do with father's rights. And this is going to be a huge piece of information to put in to you guys' arsenal to help fight a lot of your cases, to defend your cases, to ward off those that would try to come at you for either child support or anything related to your child's, vaccinations. You name it. You name it. If you do not already have your child's authenticated birth certificate taken care of, you need to get that done. As long as the child is 17 and under, you can claim that child as property. Anything 18 or over is slavery. You cannot own you can't own I'm trying not to say major. Once the child becomes 18, it becomes technically legally an adult. And you cannot own, I don't want to say another human being because that's not true. You are the property, or you're the property of the state, unless you've authenticated your birth certificate and made the prerequisite steps to free yourself. So you can own your children up until the age of 16, just before they turn 18, all right? Never known that. You need some documentation on that. Leave a comment below. While you're doing that, click like, click subscribe. But yes, ownership. You do not have to discuss your property with anyone else. So if your offspring, if your child is under the age of 17 and you have papers on that child and not just a regular birth certificate, you need an authenticated birth certificate, and you would attach an affidavit of ownership, stating that that is your property. So now if you get pulled into child support court, or you're summoned to respond, or you get like documentation that you need to respond, immediately you can send them a certified copy and tell them you don't want to discuss your property with them, in case closed. But I don't want to give legal advice. Can't give legal advice. I can offer legal first aid. Plug for my company. But let's go into this document. You need to see what I need to present to you today. And I'm not going to be long-winded. I'm just going to bring to you the facts, nothing but the facts. So help me. This is the selected maxims of law for fathers' rights. Can be found on Google or any other search engine that you prefer. Punch in selected maxims of law for fathers' rights and it should come up, all right? So you can listen to me now, go through it, or you can pull up yourself on you, but I gave you the information. Just remember where you got it from. Bud-Brownsville. Selected maxims of law for fathers' rights. Maximum law, maxims of interest that apply to fathers' rights. Do you know what a maxim is? Well, let's go into what a maxim is. An established principle or proposition. A principle of law universally admitted as being just and consonant with reason. Maxims in law are somewhat like axioms in geometry. 1BL, com.68. They are principles and authorities and part of the general customs or common law of the land, and are of the same strength as acts of parliament. When the judges have determined what is maxim, which belongs to the judges and not the jury. Terms do, lay, dot, and stud. This is those not terms, but when you see language like this in the middle of a sentence, that is a citation telling you where you can find what has just been said, okay? So if you go back up, mouse up, to 1BL, that's a citation. It's telling you where to find that statement, and I believe that's First Black's Law, commentary 68. Or I got to touch up on my citations. I apologize, but I believe that's from the first edition of Black's Law. This is from Dooley, Doc, and Stud. There might be a case. Okay, maximum law holding for law in all other cases that may be applied to them shall be taken for granted. First, INST. Help me out there, people. I'm not familiar, and I can Google it myself, but you guys are reading along with me. It's the second time I came across that citation, and I'm not familiar with that INST. But let me know what it is. I'll look it up for myself. I may give you the information when I do the next video, or put it in the comment section below. All right, so let me just finish reading the maxims, definitions. B, the application of the maxim to the case before the court is generally the only difficulty. The true method of making the application is to ascertain that means how, they made a typo, how the maxim arose, and to consider whether the case to which it is applied is of the same character, or whether it is an extension, exception. I'm screwing this all up. I'm going to start again. I apologize, people. The application of the maxim to the case before the court is generally the only difficulty. The true method of making the application is to ascertain how the maxim arose, and to consider whether the case to which it is applied is of the same character, or whether it is an exception to the apparently general rule. The alterations of any of the maxims of the common law are dangerous. Second, in that same thing, 210, the following are some of the more important maxims. Now, maxims are general statements and general outlines, general principles, and these are found from judges' briefs. It's found from case law, and they take out the explanation of the thing. And I'll give you some examples. In the ownership of children section of this document, no man can be at the same time tenant and landlord of the same tenement. One cannot be agent and patient in the same manner. And it's telling you the meaning. You are either your child's father or the judge's. That is what that maxim is meaning. All right? Going down. No man can hold the same land immediately of two several lords, meaning there can only be one father, one guardian of the child, not two. All right? And here is another self, and a son is a part of the father. Two cannot possess one thing in its entirety. Black's Law, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we going over the same thing. Got it? All right, I'm scrolling down. I'm not going to read each and everything. I highlighted a lot of stuff here just to bring your eyes to those things. I wanted to pull out some good ones. Going down into the rights of the father. Rights never die. No one can have a servitude over his own property. He defends the forced injury. A father commanding not to strictly is best obeyed. He who provides for himself provides for his heirs. Husband and wife are considered one person in law. That can be used, which I've used, if you are married and being taken in for child support. Let's say you and your wife has a disagreement, but you guys are married. You guys are one in law, so you can't sue yourself. Caught that? All right. So when you know, if you haven't been in court yet, into like child support court, what happens is they sit you in a room and they put you on the plaintiff or the defendant's table, and you won't have a lawyer sitting there. Your wife or your children's mother will be at the next table, and she will be the plaintiff, and she will definitely have a lawyer sitting there with her. And this is how it plays out. They separate the two, and they try to pin you against each other. Now, if you don't speak up and let them know that you're married, and I'm telling you from experience, if you don't speak up and assert yourself that you're married, they're going to treat you as two separate individuals, and you're the plaintiff or you're the defendant, she's the plaintiff type thing. So I had to actually really assert myself in that tribunal, that fake court. And once I established that I was married to this woman, I am, and at that time were married to that woman, it threw a monkey wrench all in the whole process. And they wouldn't let me talk for several visits. And I didn't know at that time what I knew now. Oh boy, if I only knew then. But I went into the court, or I went into their little hearing room, and they just run the train on you in there. You don't know what you don't know. And it's better to know or speak to someone that has been in those things and get the information on how to conduct yourself, how to carry yourself, and how to avoid those things. All right. So also another point that I wanted to bring out, that if you and your wife now, or you and your baby's mother, have, let's say, 2 children prior to you getting married, upon getting married, those 2 first children are no longer out of wedlock. They are now as if you were married when you had those first children. All right. So if you have children by a person and you're not married, and you subsequently marry that person, all of the children from that union are now as pure as day one. Hope I'm interpreting that, or relaying that message clearly. And I can find the maximum on that. Or actually, the maximum is going to come up in this one. But I can show you the law on that, and the where I came to that conclusion. I read it and I wrote it down in my notes. I'll find it for you guys, and hopefully I'll add it to the comments below. But this is very powerful stuff, and this can help you with your cases. This can help you with your confidence. It can just help you, period. All right. So where were we? Husband and wife are considered one in law. That's up here. Now, a privilege is a personal benefit and dies with the person. Paternal power should consist in affection, not in atrocity. No one can owe to himself. This is another good one. Because if you and the wife are one and they're coming after you for payment, no. Let me go down and find some more for you. Now, because of the laws in this country are archaic, and there's still some states that have laws in the books where females or women were property of the husband. And I know that's still in effect in New York. They haven't rescinded that or appealed it or changed that. But if you look at this one on the screen, all things which are of the wife belong to the husband. So if the wife has a child that the state is taking care of, let's say, that is the husband's property, and you don't have, or they don't have any right to discuss your property. But if you don't know your rights, you can't exercise your rights. All right. So anyway, no one is obliged to accept the benefit against his consent. No one can offer the compellingly good and lawful man to get a license, benefit, privilege, and commerce. No one is presumed to have preferred another's posterity to his own. Okay. Now, this is one I was mentioning. You see wedlock. A subsequent marriage cures preceding criminality. In other words, if it was illegal at the time for you to have children in wedlock or out of wedlock, once you get married, you cure that fault. The father is he whom the marriage points out. He who uses his legal rights harms no one. All right. I left some more notes down here. We're going into the rights of the children. We're going into fraud. And got more fraud. Here we go. Mothers obtain benefit of custody of children must bear burden. The act of a woman in giving birth to a child, the fact of the accouchement, which may be proved by the direct testimony of one who is present as a physician or midwife, is often important evidence in proving parentage. It is natural that he who bears the charge of a thing should receive the profits. Women are excluded from all civil and public charges or offices. One cannot transfer to another a right which he does not. Moving right along. He who was born of an illicit union is not counted among the children. They're going after what's the name, child, or forgot the term they use, illegitimate child. Every citizen must know the law. Remind me for scrolling past this. I'm not going to read all of this stuff to you. Showed you where to get the document from. There is no obligation to do impossible things. If you ain't got a job, you can't pay, you can't pay. There's no money to pay anything with anyway, but that's another story for another time. Okay, imprisonment for a debt, even for the shortest time, fully discharges the debt. The smallest bodily punishment is greater than any pecuniary one. No one can have a servitude over his own property. All right, so I think this is the last one down here. Facts are more powerful than words. If you put your facts on paper in the style of, let's say, the affidavit of truth, and it does not get rebutted, by rule of thumb, once you put your truth on paper, unless someone can actually rebut it, your truth will not be rebutted, and it will stand as fact, stand as law. So facts are more powerful than words. When somebody testifies in court, what they're doing is they're making, they're testifying, they're, can't find the other word for that, I apologize. They're making a statement, an oral statement. And unless that statement is on the record in that hearing, tribunal, what have you, it's not going to be accepted. Also, words, I'm trying to put this in the right term, I'm sorry. Words carry very little weight unless there's proof to back it up. If you're testifying from firsthand knowledge, meaning you saw what happened, not that somebody told you. If you're making a testimony, whereas you're giving firsthand information, that's not hearsay. That is, your facts. But if you're giving some information of knowledge or information that is not coming firsthand, that's hearsay. So your affidavit of truth, your affidavit of anything that you put in, making an affidavit form that does not get rebutted, becomes facts, becomes the truth, and they're more powerful than mere words. All right. Let's move right along. This is 21 pages of information that you can use in your arsenal. And we're coming up on the end of the document, but this is a very, very powerful document that you can use. And this I speak about a lot too: silence, not responding to attacks by government. He who is silent appears to consent. What I cannot do in person, I cannot do by proxy. He who does not repel a wrong when he can, induces it. It is better to recede than to proceed in evil. It is better to suffer every wrong or ill than to consent to it. When the words of a statute are special, but the reason of its general, it is to be understood generally. So I believe this is the last page coming up of this document. I hope this was an eye-opener for you. I hope this is valuable for you. I hope you can use, and I know you can use, this information. And I wish that you would click like, click subscribe. Please share this video and come back, because I have an arsenal. I have an arsenal of documents similar to this, of which I've been going through my flash drives and digging them out so I can present to you, because they're doing no good sitting on my flash drives or sitting in files tucked away when someone could be using this stuff. I am a Black Panther. I can't say former, because once you're a Panther, always a Panther. And my call sign, or I'm known as Brother Information. And information is a play off the word information. And I have been known, and I am known for my information. I have I can say a warehouse of information in my brain and on paper. And I'm going to go through my archives, which is what I've been doing, and pulling out these jewels and sharing it with you. So keep coming by. It's easy, just to subscribe so you get a notification every time I put out a video. And you know, if you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. So, you know, I go either way. Appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. It's Bud-Brownsville, aka Brother Information. And I'll see you again in the next video. Peace, everybody. Peace.